Major funding for Jann Scott Live is provided by Art Hardware on the Hill, by Jones Drug on the Hill, by Boulder Army Store, by Mike's Marine and Boat, by Paper Mall on the Downtown Mall, by Blackjack Pizza, by El Dorado Natural Spring Water, by the Baobab Tree, and by Uptime. Colorado's #1 late-night call-in talk TV show, Jann Scott Live. On tonight's show, Jann talks with Libby Cook from Wild Oats and Lee Hill, attorney for the underdog. It's Jann Scott Live on your television. It's been a wacky week this past week. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Have you been? I was down at Eads News today. There's OJ sitting in the on the cover of Esquire with his hand over his heart, looking at the camera. I didn't do it. And you've got President Clinton. He's on. Where is he? Lewinsky's on the cover of People. President Clinton is on the cover of Time. I mean, the world's gone nuts. What do you think? How do you like our new, let's talk TV right here. If it's February 4th, give me a call, 440-3572. Open lines for the next 15 minutes. Let's talk about some of the crazy things that have gone on in the world. Incidentally, at a quarter after the hour, we're going to have Libby Cook, who is one of the founders of Wild Oats. They're opening up some wellness centers. Wild Oats, of course, is the outrageously successful natural food supermarket chain started here in Colorado, and it's just exploding across the country. They expect to be a $1 billion a year company in a few years. So she'll be on with us at quarter after. And then at 8:30, Attorney Lee Hill will be here. He's the attorney who ran for city council, former district attorney from San Diego, and he's defending this Miles. The guy, Thomas Miles, he said, according to the National Enquirer, John Ramsey accused him of murdering his daughter, and now they're suing National Enquirer for libel. He's also defending the kid, or he went after the school board for the 14-year-old boy who assaulted the 11-year-old boy. He's helping the victim and the victim's mom. You're taking it to them in this city. So Lee Hill will be here with us. Again, he's been on the show a couple of times. When he was running for city council, we had him on, and then we also had him back on, and we'll have him on pretty regularly. He's an attorney who's been around the block more than once and is not afraid to step right out there and tell it like it is. So not a bad guy, fairly interesting. 440-3572 is that's the talk line. We have open lines here for the next 14 minutes, we're also going to play some of the comment line calls here on Jan Scott Live. Now, if it's another day, it's, show the comment line there, Jim. If it's another day, it's this number right here. No, not that one. It's this one. It's this one right here. It's this one. Well, we have this computer that they got out of the antique shop here at the TV station, which takes, there it is. Any other night, that number. And then also open lines right here. If it's not the 4th, you call that number, 4471 jaw is our jaw line, which has to do with jaw boning. Okay, let's go to the comment line. Some of your calls over the past week to this TV show about some of the topics that we talk about.
Tell you something. I was a sergeant in the Army. I was a peer instructor on the M16, a peer instructor on NBC, and a peer instructor on physical training. Yeah. And I never drank until I got in the Army. All right? All I did is smoke pot. Since I got in the Army and started drinking, everything has turned around, and I've been fucked up. I got kicked out of the Army because I was an alcoholic.
There you go.
What you tell me about legalizing marijuana, motherfucker, I think you guys suck. Because you never talk to anybody when you call.
Well, that's a problem, isn't it? You're loaded on drugs and loaded on alcohol. What a loser. It doesn't work. I mean, they threw you out of the Army because you were an alcoholic and a drug addict. So give us a break, please. Okay, what do you think about this? The woman, Texas inmate that was, she died here. They killed her, right? I thought they were going to do it live on TV. I mean, they had it all set up. I thought they were going to actually show her body and show the injections, and then watch her have death television from Texas. Live from Texas, it's Death TV! That's coming. They're going to show an execution yet. So, first woman executed in this country since 1883 or something. What do you think about that? Notice that we didn't hear much from NOW, the National Organization for Women, out there cheering. Yeah! Finally, women's rights in the execution. No, we didn't hear that. And isn't it interesting how the wacky Christians got involved in that, the right-wing loony fringe? It's like, she came to Jesus and now she should live. Well, if you talk to most extremist Christian fundamentalists, the one thing that they tell you is, I can't wait to get out of this world so I can be in heaven with my Savior, with my Father. It's kind of a suicidal thing. So I should think that they all would have been like really happy. I mean, she's going there anyways. Hey, what about the victim's husband? Did you hear what he had to say? He said, yeah, she's going to be in heaven with my wife. Wait till my wife gets her hands on her. This guy was pissed. I don't know. I mean, this is like, we got sex in the White House, death in the injection chamber, and what do you think of this? And what about now? I think they should have come out and, cheered this one on, but they didn't. 440-3572 is the number on February 4th, and also our comment line, open lines here for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Back to your calls right here on Jan Scott Live.
Jan Scott, I'm a young black African-American male from down south that recently moved to Denver, and I would like to have some discussion brought up about some of the repercussions I've faced for being black in the Denver city limits, such as getting pulled over for no reason and just having to be let go because I have insurance and whatnot, but they just thought maybe they could get them a criminal because I was black. And I would like to hear what some of your viewers think or what comments they have on the pressures I must face in this community as a black man and how we could help resolve them and live in harmony. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so good point. If you are black or Hispanic or a person of color, and you're male, do you feel that you are unfairly targeted by the police, that they pull you over in what is called profile stops? 440-3572 is the live number on February 4th, or 4471-JAW. Now, interestingly enough, last week, of course, we had on the director of the NAACP, where she was talking about not so much police targeting, but discrimination on the job, discrimination at school, those kinds of things. And then, of course, Desi Cortez, the crazy KOA talk show host, the only black talk show host they have, and they put him on weekends at night. It's kind of like saying to the black guy, look, you got to get in back of the bus, because basically if you're on overnights and talk radio, it's like being on the back of the bus. I mean, face it, KOA is essentially a misogynist, the whole J-Corps organization. They're misogynistic and they're racist. They have any woman that they've had, they've either fired. The only black woman was the Boulder Attorney. What was her name there, Jim? It's Danny Newsom, who's over on Channel 12. She quit. They forced her. They wanted her to talk to the Ramseys. They want to talk Ramsey all the time. She wouldn't do it. And anyway, so. Desi Cortez, what does he do as a black guy? He gets on and attacks the NAACP. I mean, as a regular sort of thing. I mean, who needs Aryan Nation when they've got an idiot like Desi Cortez, thrashing his own people? Christ, unbelievable. There's something wrong. The world's gone nuts. 440-3572. That's what I think for the black guy who called from Denver. Yeah, we're crazy about sex, race. It's a wacky world out there. It's really gotten. Did you read about the probation officer that chained herself to one of her probationees because it kept breaking probation? So this is in Florida. So the probation officer chained herself to one of her 16-year-old kid who was on probation, and then the kid went nuts. They had to put her in a mental hospital. How'd you like to be chained to your probation officer? I mean, it's like literally 447-1JAW or 440-3572. You're watching Jann Scott Live. Let's see. Back to your calls here on the TV show.
Jann, this is a fellow that's a professional driver in the limousine corporation, and I'm against photo radar. The reason being because here in Denver, sometimes the lights are not timed out correctly, and if they would put a camera up on the light system, I think it'd be very injustice for people, because sometimes you'll be going through a stoplight and you cannot stop in the middle of an intersection going through a light. And I just wanted to share my comment with you that I'm very, very against photo radar.
Well, okay. I mean, I might be against it on some other issues like your invasion of privacy. But if you own a limo service, I mean, limos weigh what, 10,000 pounds, 8 to 15,000 pounds. Come on, your guys shouldn't be speeding anyways. What the heck? They should be taking it easy. You guys get caught. You guys get in a wreck in an intersection, and you hit, say, a Honda Civic with a stretched limbo. Somebody's going to die, and it's not going to be your driver. So you, of all people, should be in favor of something that enforces the law. I mean, it just blows me away. It's like having the the wolf call up and complain about the guard in front of the hen house. What the heck's the big idea? Now they got guards in front of the hen house. It's an outrage. It's kind of like that. But we won't see photo radar in Boulder, I don't think. Kobe stands against it, and I don't think City Council is going to pass it. Are they? Oh. 447-1JAW is the comment line, and 440-3572 is the number if you're watching on February 4th. More of your calls.
And on your show, your Ramsey update, I guess it was aired Wednesday, December 3rd. I'm calling a little late. And I am a firm believer that what happened is that John Ramsey was molesting little Jean Benet. And the mother came in and caught him and went to hit him over the head, but accidentally got Jean Benet.
Yeah.
That is a firm belief from the gathering evidence.
Peter Boyles? Firm belief from the recesses of your mind? Firm belief from Jerry Springer? Firm belief from talk radio? Firm belief from, you white trash bimbo! Stop watching television, lady! Don't believe anything! Jeez, give me a break. Any more of you people call up and give me your theory on who murdered John Benet. I mean, get a life. Go to the library. Stop watching Geraldo. They're robbing your mind. They're stealing your mind. Look what the hell's going on. The president's having sex with interns. Jim, isn't it? It's a. How are you feeling? Oh, has the world gone? Come on, you listened to Boyles this morning. What did Peter Boyle say about? It's called Lee Hill. Introduces Lee Hill on his show, and what does he say? He calls him a
Well, he mixed Lee Hill up with his client. I think he said that Lee Hill was a pedophile.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's the other way around.
Peter Boyles is nuts. Isn't he nuts? The guy's gone crazy. He's gone wacko. He's pretty much like out of his mind, don't you think?
It's sort of like Jerry Springer. It's gotten to be so bad that it's actually kind of good.
Makes me sick. 440-3572 is the number. All right. And let's go back to the comment line.
Somebody needs to inform Mr. Scott that the swastika is an Indian symbol that represents power. It was stolen by Hitler and flipped around.
Yeah.
So whatever you're crying about,
flipped around, all right. You're pretty flipped around.
You're an idiot.
You're flipped around. Now you're defending the swastika. The only thing the swastika stands for today are the Nazis, wives of the SS, men of the SS. The swastika represents one thing: racism, extermination, world domination, world power by white Aryans. That's what the swastika represents. Don't tell me what the hell it represented 2,000 years ago. It's a moot point. And for a development in Cherry Hills to call itself Swastika Acres and to be proud of it, it is our heritage. Well, they're all a bunch of, white. I mean, think about who lives in Swastika Acres, There's not one black family that lives there. They have to change that name. It's just that racism is much too subtle. Hey, am I wound up? Yeah. Racism is way too subtle. I don't care what it stood for before. It's what does it stand for now? Incidentally, if you watch the History Channel or the Learning Channel, the History Channel, they might as well call it the Adolf Hitler Channel or the World War II Channel or the War and Entertainment Channel. Like there's the Arts and Entertainment. You ever watch it? Half of it is World War II stuff. All of the History Channel is either movies about war or the war. Bombing, nuclear explosions, the Navy. I mean, they're nuts. The History Channel is supposed to be about history. They're out of their minds. And the Learning Channel. Terrible. Arts and Entertainment. You think that the one of the three channels that would actually have something of value, I thought they would probably be similar to some of the PBS programming. They are the worst. And they just suck men in, like us guys. We sit back and watch that stuff. Kill, bomb, kill the Germans, kill the Japanese. Jesus. All right. We'll take one more call from the comment line.
This is Barbara Gomez. Please, I'm glad to be on your radio talk show. Please,
TV lady.
I'm happy that you get everything out there on the road and everything.
Yep.
But please help our people too. Thank you. I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah. Okay. I think she had a few too many. What do they call those things? What are those drinks that you have around Christmas, Jim? They're
Tom and Jerry's.
Singapore Sling. No, it's the traditional one. The
Hot buttered rum.
Well, it could be hot buttered rum.
Eggnog.
Oh no, Manhattan. That sounded like a Manhattan
Manhattan's
drink.
not a Christmas drink.
No, a Manhattan isn't. Either is a pint of scotch. That's it. Oh, John and Patsy Ramsey had a pretty big Christmas. What do you think they were doing over Christmas of last year? Okay, we're going to the phones. Okay, Philip, finger on the button there, Brandon. You're on the air. Philip, what do you got to say tonight?
Well, I got a couple comments for you. I was just wondering why you're not very open with conversation when you're dealing with others. Just about
why what now?
Views.
I didn't hear you.
I just say you're not very open.
I'm not very open about what?
Anything in particular. What people have been saying so far this evening, you just seem to say, "Oh, you're crazy. You call that one a white trash bimbo and this and that."
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty much the way I am.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
it's their own partner. I
Yeah,
have no
so
problem.
don't watch. There's 55 channels on there. 55 channels.
Hey,
Go
no
watch
problem,
somebody
yeah.
else, chump. Bye.
Hey.
He's gone. You have to call here with, something. I mean, just, not very open. You better listen to what I'm talking about. All right. 440-3572 is the live number, and 447-1-JAW is our comment line if you're watching this on another day. So lots of things up for discussion, especially the Texas execution yesterday. What did you think of that? Even Steven? All's fair? What's fair for the goose is fair for the gander? Or was it a travesty? All right, now back to our comment lines. We'll take some more of those. Got any more left?
Hi, Jann. Dave Hart. I was just watching a rerun of Wednesday's show on Saturday night, and you're reading the article that I also read about the swastika acres. And I seem to remember from the article that they originally called that swastika acres because of the Indian symbol that was used. And I don't know if somebody brought this up, but the symbol that the Indians use, and I'm looking at an Indian saddle blanket right here that has the swastika on it, but it's not the swastika.
Right.
The Nazi swastika had the arms pointing to the right as it goes around. In other words, the one that goes vertical, the Indian symbol points to the left.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, it points to the right. And in the Nazi swastika, the ends of the, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The arms point the other way. In other words, the top one would point to the right. I think it's kind of unfair that they call that they call it swastika acres.
Yeah.
Because the Indian good luck symbol was the swastika only backwards.
Yeah, but they didn't call
and
it
that
swastika.
was the perversion that Hitler used on the good luck symbol. He pointed it the other way. I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents in there.
Right. Got it. Yeah, it just seems wrong that something should be called swastika acres in the 1990s with all of what Adolf Hitler did with it. Also, we have our own art professor and critic Jim Bosch back there. Jim, you had some comments about that particular swastika. What a little historical background on it?
I did that research months ago when you did that show, and it's kind of escaped me. The Nazis corrupted it. That your caller was absolutely right, and I don't think the Indians called it the swastika. I mean, that wasn't their language.
German name.
So so you have a point about the name, but the symbol has been ruined.
Yeah.
It's been used all over the world. It's a very common symbol.
It's ruined now.
Yeah, for the next 30 or 40 years, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's like the word, Nigeria, and then the N-word, Niger. Perhaps 100 years ago, that may have been a favorable word to use, but then once we brought slaves here and murdered people, and using the N-word, it is completely inappropriate to use. And so is anything called swastika acres. You think so, Jim? No.
I was working on the computer. I'm sorry I missed that.
I'm sure you were. Okay, let's do this. We've got Libby Cook's going to be with us, but she was supposed to be here earlier, so Lee Hill's here. Have a look at this video. You're watching Jann Scott live, and this is some little breaker footage, and then we'll be back here in a couple of minutes.
It's the World Series of Weird. What's this? This isn't a sport. He shoots, he scores. Yes! I said row! And it's a deep shot to left center field, a very deep shot. Johnson's got his board up in the air. Oh, a score! Oh, left, right, left. He's out! He's out!
There was no patriarchal, post-racist, post-nationalist, post-monotheistic age. That was an experiment that failed, okay? We're just going to go on from now.
Come on. Back in studio with Jann Scott. Joining us is Lee Hill, attorney. He is a former district attorney in San Diego. He ran for city council here in Boulder, and he now is defending 2 high-profile cases here in Boulder, and actually has a third to come. Lee, thanks for coming and being with us this evening. Thank you. Let's talk about the first one, okay? This photographer, Stephen Thomas Miles, lived near the Ramseys, been a long-time Boulder resident. Tell us a story. What's happened here?
Well, what we see with Stephen Miles is unfortunately more of a common story than it should be. He's one of the people who got swept up in the net of a series of allegations that were raised. You remember Santa Claus got fingered too, earlier on in the investigation, but one of the things that distinguished Stephen Miles is that his photograph suddenly ended up on the cover of a national supermarket tabloid, and he was identified, according to the article in the tabloid, as the killer of JonBenet Ramsey.
The National Enquirer.
That's right.
You are suing the National Enquirer on behalf of Stephen Miles because John Ramsey fingered him and said, this is the guy that murdered my daughter.
According to the Enquirer. And they didn't stop there. They went on in that article, which ran last October 21st, and also in a later article, which ran on November 11th, and called Stephen Miles incorrectly, referred to him as a pedophile and a sex offender and a drug addict. All of these allegations are false. Now,
is he a pedophile and a sex offender?
Absolutely not.
No, come on. I thought the guy had he has an arrest record for drugs. Doesn't he have an arrest record for molesting a teenage boy or something? Or do you have any pictures of a teen?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that question. It's an important question. Right. Stephen Miles in the late '80s, in the mid '80s, took a photograph, a very artful photograph, of a 17-year-old young man who was almost 18. In the photograph, it is not an explicit photograph. It's a very classic semi-nude portrait, black and white, very good texture to the photograph. I'm not trying to be a photo critic here, but suffice to say that same photograph ended up published in Aperture magazine, which is one of the nation's leading artful photographic magazines. It's not Hustler or Penthouse. It's a real photography magazine.
Did he get busted for it or what?
He did get arrested. He got arrested nearly 4 years after he took the photograph.
How old was the guy?
The guy was almost 18 when the photograph was taken, and the young man still remains a friend of Stephen Miles. He modeled for the photograph willingly, was proud of the photograph, happy it was taken, still is. And while Mr. Miles was arrested for that, the arrest stems from a misunderstanding based upon reports that the police initially received. People had the wrong idea about what had occurred.
Okay, so how many times has he been charged? He was convicted of a sex offense?
Oh, absolutely not.
He was not convicted?
No, see,
so
that's the whole point.
He's not a sex offender?
He is not a sex offender.
He's not a sex offender?
Absolutely not.
So, but he has a long arrest record, which is what, drug busts, that kind of stuff?
You know, the reason they're calling that a long arrest record is because his arrests were so long ago. Basically.
Come on, just tell me. I mean, okay.
Seriously, he has, I think, a couple of convictions that are narcotics related, and perhaps a petty theft conviction that was reported in today's paper. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. That may have been an arrest.
Has he been charged with other stuff concerning minors?
No.
So that was the only thing, just the picture, no other charges in terms of involvement with juveniles or children?
The only other charge that could even remotely be grouped into that category relates to contributing to the delinquency of a minor charge, and that refers to providing alcohol to someone who's under the age of 21. So in that context, he might have a record along with now, most of the graduating class at the University of Colorado.
I love you. I love this guy because no, I mean it's like of course you're going to defend your client, but you're kind of making him up to because I've heard from other people that say this guy's been a long time, pedophile. He's had kids over to his house and But what do I know? Because I don't know the guy, and I don't know anything about him.
I'm glad you raised this. Well, and there's a big difference between rumor and defamation, because what we saw in the National Enquirer was the elevation of this rumor to a format that presented it as news, as fact. It's absolutely false. Anyone who knows Stephen Miles can tell you he's not a predator, he's not a pedophile. One of the reasons he has any association with children is because he's a very good photographer of children. And I know a number of very reputable longtime Boulder residents, some of whom are in the mental health field. That's
not what I've heard. I mean, but I'm not going to go with innuendo or what I've heard. I mean, but
consider the
sources. Neither here nor there. John Ramsey comes out and points the finger at this guy and says he murdered my daughter. Now, did he point the finger at Santa Claus and say Santa Claus murdered my daughter? Did Ramsey come out and say that on record?
Of course.
Or do we know that? I'm just asking. I don't know.
In all fairness, we too still have to consider the record. And the record in this case, the primary record is an article published in the National Enquirer, and so we get into the whole.
Which is a reputable.
Right. The endless question of are we to believe anything the National Enquirer says? But of course we are. They do publish articles
Peter
that
Boyles
people read
believes
and take very seriously.
Yes, he quotes them regularly.
But part of the function of this lawsuit, in addition to clearing Mr. Miles' reputation and making sure that people understand what's true and what isn't true, part of the purpose of the lawsuit is to bring to a stop the profitable practice of printing falsehoods about people when you know that they're false.
When you go to court, will you be able to, let's say, I wonder if John Ramsey told Alex Hunter about this, and I wonder, will you be able to subpoena Alex Hunter's records from maybe either Ramsey or his attorneys to find out if maybe he told the district attorney that he thought your guy, that Miles, did it?
Well,
way you can get out the records?
There are a number of different ways that we can try and find out that information. We can't, for example, subpoena Alex Hunter and ask him questions about statements that Mr. Ramsey may have made to him. This is an active criminal investigation. There are all sorts of shields that would prevent us from getting into that information at this time, at least. But arguably, we would have an opportunity to interview other people who were present, including Mr. Ramsey, potentially. This is all after the complaint, the civil complaint, the law action, has survived the challenges that we anticipate with respect to whether or not we've brought a claim that will withstand, for example, a motion for summary judgment.
My question would be, is who else did John Ramsey, say this to, so it could be corroborated? Maybe to the police, maybe to other reporters. Can you subpoena National Enquirer's any of their high-tech equipment, like if they used a microphone when they try to tape John Ramsey talking to him across a parking lot or something like that?
I'll tell you, we're going to be able to learn a lot of very interesting things, and we're definitely going to be finding out as much as we can about how these lies were collected, and then how the decisions were made to publish these lies.
What about the police? Is your guy a suspect there? Have they questioned him? Are they about to arrest your guy, Mr. Miles, or what's the story there?
As far as we know, they're not planning on arresting him, and as of the end of the business day today, he had still not been questioned by the police regarding the murder of JonBenet Ramsey. And so,
it's interesting.
Again,
he'd never been questioned. That's interesting. John Ramsey points the finger at the guy, and they haven't questioned him. But okay, maybe they'll do that.
Well, again, I'll tell you, it's just astounding what gets passed off as the truth, and so often there are no consequences. There's this idea that everything you read is true, and there's also this sense of helplessness that most people have when something that isn't true is published. And people don't have to be helpless with the truth. The courts are designed to promote and protect the truth, and that's what we have on our side.
This is a big risk for you to take a case like this on, isn't it? I mean, a lot of lawyers would just sort of shy away from it. You just plunge right in. You jump right into the,
Jumped right into this after a couple of months of very carefully considering the background of the case and looking into it. So this is not an impulsive case that we're raising. It's one that we would have preferred not to raise, but I don't see any way else that we're going to be able to help Miles rebuild his reputation.
How much are you suing the National Enquirer for?
In Colorado, you don't have to specify the amount of damages, and it's too soon for us to be able to say just exactly how much money it would take to teach them a lesson. I have no idea how much they profited from publishing these untrue stories.
Lee Hill, who's the man of the hour here in Boulder, certainly the attorney of the hour. He's been on the World Wide Web. He's handling 2 high-profile cases here in Boulder. Another one of them is the boy who went to Burbank Middle School and was attacked by another boy. An 11-year-old boy was attacked by a 14-year-old boy who forced oral sex on him during watching Anaconda, and nobody told the kid's parents about it. So how did you get involved in this particular case? What got it started?
Well, I've known the family, the impacted family, for a number of years now. And it took the mother a couple of days to collect herself enough so that she could call me. The boy's been raised by one parent, by his natural mother. And it's such a horrendous event. The impact on the family is terrible. And the reality of the administration and the way that communications broke down in this case just sends a chill of fear up every parent I know.
You would think once a teacher or a principal found out that something like this happened, that they would have called the parents immediately and had them come over to the school and say, this has happened. I mean, and what was 3 weeks later before the mother was told about it?
21 days, 3 weeks.
What the hell's going on? I mean, somebody had to really, that wasn't just an oversight. That was an intentional not calling mom, saying maybe the school knows best, or what the hell were they thinking?
It's incredible. As incredible as this is, I was told tonight that something very similar happened in Beaver Creek right around the same time. So odd that this would be occurring twice in Colorado in the same general season. I don't know the details about the Beaver Creek case, but you're absolutely right. It flies against every natural, caring human response and instinct any of us have, even if we don't have children.
I mean, who came up with the idea of not to call the parents? We'll call the police, and then we're not going to tell the parents. You would think that they would have had some sort of crisis counselor there right then and there for both mom and the child. I mean, that's a rape.
It is a rape. Forced oral copulation, rape. Now,
it's almost like the schools, when the people make the claims that the schools have taken over the jobs of the parents, they see themselves as more powerful and above the law. It's like, we are the school, we are God, and we don't have to tell you anything. I mean, that's really, it does not speak well. They can backpedal all they want to, but they sure didn't like this lady going to you and then you going to the press with this, did they? I bet they probably just went, oh no.
The press actually stumbled on it, and one of the things that
who stumbled on it? Boulder Weekly, or
Boulder Weekly initially stumbled on it. Now the client was very eager to get the word out because she, in addition to grieving for the injury and the impact on her and her child, she wanted to make damn sure that no other parent had to put up with this in Boulder. And so she wanted to get the word out as delicately as possible. And from the start and through the finish, her intent is to make this a constructive process.
Somebody should be fired over this, I think. I mean, I put it on the school. They say, well, we told the cops, we thought they were going to, tell them, but it was in their ballpark. It happened in their school.
Well,
any kind of policy that doesn't have you call a child's mother 3 weeks after a rape, that's an outrage. I mean, somebody's job, I think, ought to be on the line.
Well, between you and me, I tell you, if it takes a written policy, they ought to write in a miscellaneous clause that common sense should be applied when in doubt. When it's not written down, just use common sense for sure. But at least we have seen the policy revisited, redefined, and we've seen administrative agencies who were involved take those first baby steps toward accepting responsibility, and that I find some encouragement in.
I guess, to me, it's really discouraging that we even had to go to that part. I mean, it would, Christ, what's next? A murder?
Right.
Well, we were going to where's my son? I don't know. He disappeared. Oh, we forgot to tell you he was killed.
Well,
I mean, that's a natural escalation of this.
And definitely from the family's perspective, the new revised policy that should have been already is constructed upon the debris of their hopes and their trust in authority and school systems. And
sometimes we deserve the reputation of being twits. I mean, Boulder's so politically correct. I mean, there's we have the Ramsey case and now this thing, and it's like we just keep getting punched around. And I think people who try to just be so perfect, it's like, what do we live in, a community of major control freaks?
When we start taking responsibility, when we start admitting our mistakes, then we can start improving, and hopefully that's what we're going to see continue. And now I have to add, the job's not over. A soundbite apology made to a television camera the client hasn't heard one word of apology directly from any of the people
I mean, I think either the principal at this school, at Burbank Middle School, should be fired. The head of the school board, somebody should pay for this. I don't know. That's just my take on it. If it were my kid, somebody ought to go.
Someone should definitely pay for the therapy bills that they're undergoing and that they will continue to undergo. And so part of the necessary follow-through with respect to this unfortunate incident will be helping the family recover and helping them get as close back to normal and whole as they possibly can.
Is there a lawsuit against the school board over this, or against the school, or is that pending, or what?
We have not yet filed a lawsuit. The procedure would be that we would file a letter of intent to sue, because this is a quasi or municipal agency. There are very strict regulations about the steps you have to follow. After that, if things aren't settled, then we would follow through with the lawsuit. I expect that part of that will be necessary, but again, let me emphasize, we've wanted this process to be constructive,
right?
Both for the system, for other families here in Boulder, and then ultimately for the family themselves.
Sometimes firing a principal has a constructive effect. It's like the next one won't make that mistake, or any other dumb ones. Let's go to the next lawsuit that you haven't talked about publicly yet. Can you tell us about that one in about a minute or less? We can't
the one we talked about earlier?
Yeah. You don't have to name names, but I think it's an important one.
Okay. It is, oh gosh, I'd like to waffle out of this.
You'd like to waffle out of it?
I can, yeah.
Can we even say what it is? No, or no?
Imagine a horrendous scenario where a healthy pregnancy is misdiagnosed as a miscarriage. And this is awful. This is blood and guts.
No, I think you should just come out and say it, because I think it's important.
Well,
then I'll say it. This is a lady who went into to see a doctor for a D&C. He got there late, didn't realize what he was doing, gave her a D&C, and she was pregnant, and he caused an unintended abortion. Without doing the work that he should have done beforehand.
Well,
right?
We have what appears to be and I won't comment about which region this is coming from, and I'll add that my practice is a nationwide practice.
Yeah.
We have a situation where a woman the term of her pregnancy was misdiagnosed. They decided that she had aborted, spontaneously had a miscarriage. She came in for a D&C. A D&C was performed. They called her that night. You have to come back in. They said, your blood test results cause us concern. The next morning she came in, they wired her to the ultrasound, and she saw the beating heart of her unborn child. Healthy. So, I mean, not only do we have a wrong diagnosis apparently, but we have an unsuccessful DNC, which is basically an abortion procedure. And all it succeeded in doing, it appears, is ultimately contributing to the demise of the fetus, which she wanted to keep. So she had to go through the procedure twice. It's an unfortunate example of apparent medical malpractice, and those are some of the hardest cases to prosecute.
Lee Hill, ladies and gentlemen, one of the attorneys in Boulder with the most character, often serves the underdog, and we've got him here tonight. Thanks, Lee, for being here.
Well, thank you.
Coming by, and appreciate you stopping by here.
I hope that we've answered some of the people's questions
I think
about
so.
these cases.
We'll follow this as it goes along, and we were gonna have Libby Cook on earlier, but I hate to say this following that discussion. But coming up next, natural foods.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, America presents in
South America.
India.
Huh?
You told me it was India.
So, the President of the United States, here, now thinking Victoria's a politician, the President of the United States has power to pardon federal offenses. This, of course...
Where's Lenny?
You mean you did all this cha-cha stuff just to find Lenny? You must not be too bright.
Well, I can spell soap. Can you? Is this him?
Turn now, Troubadour, now moving stoutly on the far outside. Rounding the far turn, Celadon Star in front.
So, never look back and practice safe intercourse, okay? All right, next caller.
Yeah, hello, ladies man. Yeah, I've been with my girlfriend for a few years now, and we like to have sex and all, but...
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
But
You are not a lesbian. You're nuts.
All right, so Beth, tell her you're not, and get over it. Thank you. All right. Mercifully, the show is ground to a halt. Like Huell Hauser.
Why do you feel that way?
Well, I have a bit of a weight problem, and it's hard, you know, meeting guys.
Yeah. Well, the ladies man is here to help you. So tell me, how fat are you?
I'm like 210.
Back in studio, you're watching Jann Scott live. Wild Oats, Colorado's largest natural food supermarket, opened 11 new stores this year, 3 of them in Denver. According to the Rocky Mountain News, the founders of the company also announced Sunday that they will donate a portion of $3 million for nonprofit wellness centers in Boulder, Denver, and Albuquerque. Welcome to the program this evening, Libby Cook, who's one of the founders of Wild Oats. And are you the CEO, CFO?
Neither. I'm vice president and former general counsel.
You're another lawyer.
Another lawyer. That's right. Following after Lee Hill, but not with as interesting a cases as he has.
This is amazing. Wild Oats is just like the Wilds Boulder success story. According to you guys are going to do $1 billion a year by the year 2001.
Yep.
$350 million a year.
We're on track to do over $400 million this year.
Tell us about the first store you opened. How the heck did you get in this business? How'd you go from being a...
Well, I tell people that it's because Mike being in the Air Force Academy, after a couple of years, he decided that he was tired of people telling him what to do 24 hours a day, and so in order to ensure that no one was going to tell him what to do again, he decided that we needed to go into business for ourselves. So I think that's what generated the interest in starting our own business. So we were out there looking for different businesses, started with a couple of small neighborhood stores, and then, acquired the Wild Oats Vegetarian Market, which was coincidentally Alfalfa's first market.
How many stores do you have totally?
52.
52?
Right.
Man, it just seemed like a few years ago you only had like 10 or something.
That's right. It was just a couple years ago.
Oh, that's right. And you had a big stock offering that came out a few years ago. And the stock is up 80% in 15 months.
Yeah, and it's up 30% in the last, 30 days. So.
Up 30%?
Yeah, something like that.
It's just amazing. I mean, you've just gone through the roof.
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate.
Another Air Force person was the guys that have left hand, left hand beer. Right. They're two former Air Force, same story. I went and interviewed them, and they said, we were so sick of the military that when we came out, we started a beer company. And then they just bought Tabernash here last week, and they're expanding like crazy. And do you know those guys?
No, I don't know those guys.
No, they're pretty good guys. Anyways, it's a same kind of story. You look at them, you never expect that they were in the Air Force. Yeah, I guess the Air Force Academy teaches something, huh?
Discipline and hard work. I mean, I think Mike's lived on 4 hours sleep all through the Air Force Academy, and I think he's still on that same schedule. And
were you in the Air Force Academy too?
No.
You were
far from it.
Were you one of Jerry's kids?
Yeah, I was over hanging out. Originally born in Bermuda, and never wanted to stray too far from the beaches till I came out and found the mountains and treated the beaches.
Did you go to CU? No?
I did. I went to CU Law School. Graduated from CU Law School. And in fact, I always tell people the story about how the professors used to come in and watch me make deli sandwiches when we first started at the Wild Oats over on Baseline and Broadway, and wondered what happened to my promising
your law
career.
degree you're making sandwiches in?
Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
Now talk about these wellness centers. So they're going to be separate. Can you just tell us a little bit?
Yeah, they're intended to be community resource and health centers. We're trying to provide a forum for complementary and holistic education and services, and they're going to be part of the store, but basically next to the store, but also with an entrance in the store, probably a couple thousand square feet. And we've been experimenting with them for a couple years. We actually have one in Albuquerque that we've evolved over the last couple years, and we really feel this is kind of the next evolution. I mean, 80% of the people that are looking for information on complementary medicine come to natural food stores for that information. And
so how's the wellness center going to work? You go into the wellness, just take
Yeah, well, we're going to have a very extensive community resource and education library and videos and educational materials, packets, and then we'll have
full-time doctor, right?
Yeah, we're going to have medically supervised with what we're calling a wellness coach. Be an RN that's experienced in complementary medicine. We'll have a lecture community room that will probably also double as a cooking facility as well, which we have always provided cooking classes.
Do you pay to go to this?
No, that part's all free, and we will offer a certain level of services more as an introduction to people to certain types of complementary medicine. Probably acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, and nutrition. We already have full-time nutritionists at the store currently. We have full-time massage.
Similar to what Hannah used to do at New Age Foods. You go in and see her, and she would hold the thing that swung back and forth. And to me, she said, "You have alcohol demons," and she gave me some. She gave me some Japanese things to eat, and that was it. I quit drinking.
Well, hopefully, with the advent of complementary medicine becoming a lot more mainstream, I think while a lot of people do have the vision of what Hannah's reputation has been for, maybe a little bit.
What you're telling me is you don't want to risk going to jail?
Well, for sure. And I think, clearly with all the articles recently on acupuncture, it's very well accepted, very well documented, and I think there's a real need. People are very frustrated with the conventional medical community, as well they should be. I'm one that's very frustrated myself. And I think there's a need for them, and I think we need to bridge complementary and conventional medicine, and have people understand that there's a place for both. But
yeah, sure. We have medical doctors in Boulder that are they're naturopaths and MDs, but at the same time, we have a pretty big reputation for some docs that do great work, not just the chiropractors, but Well, this is interesting now. So basically, you'll be able to go in. So you'll be able to talk to somebody and say, I have this or that, and get something and take it with you, sort of, and then be able to sign up for chiropractic or for
acupuncture, massage, and we want to be the premier place, not only as a meeting place, but also as a resource library. We're going to offer a referral network. We want to promote the local and nationally recognized practitioners in the complementary medicine field.
Be the first grocery store chain doing this, huh? It's
Yep.
going to be almost like a a wellness center next to your local grocery store.
Right, and while this isn't so surprising in Boulder, where you've got it seems like there's a wellness center that opens every week in Boulder. I think there's more wellness complementary medicine practitioners in Boulder than there is in the whole rest of the country. But we've got stores in Las Vegas, Michigan, Kansas, Memphis, Tennessee, and I mean these are communities that are screaming out for information and don't have the wealth of knowledge that's available here. And while we'll tailor this wellness center here in Boulder to work with the community and work with the practitioners in the community. In other areas, there really is a void.
What do you think of the FDA's recent ruling? Or I know they're looking at now mandatory criteria for what's called organic or natural foods that's being sold.
Yeah, I was just reading an article the other day and talking to someone today about how disappointed I was that it seems like the Organic Standards Act is getting a little butchered when the federal government is going to allow genetically engineered product to be sold as organic and potentially. I mean, obviously the natural foods industry is, putting up a fight on that. I mean, we worked so hard to get a natural standard. So you guys in
favor of it or against it?
We're in favor of what was originally proposed for the Federal Organic Standards Act, but when these couple areas got tacked on, there's 3 or 4 different areas that got tacked on, those are things that are not acceptable.
I've traveled the country. We did our Route 66 series, and when we came across Illinois and Oklahoma, we talked to some farmers along the way, and they really like companies like Wild Oats because they can make more money growing food the way they used to grow food back when their dads did it in the 30s. I mean, in a way, we've just, by not using phosphate fertilizers and that sort of thing, we've just gone back to the way we were growing in the 1930s.
No, that's right. And I mean, we have 40 acres out east of town that we've farmed and are currently joint venturing with an herb company that's growing herbs there, medicinal herbs, but it's, I mean, organic is definitely, best practice, sustainable agriculture, whatever you want to call it. And, we want to see more farmers, move that direction.
So how does it feel to go from you're a mom, right?
Right.
You have a family.
Yeah,
kids.
I have twins.
And how does it feel from going we're having run store to now running, a multi-million-dollar a year company and having lots of press and being enormously successful? I mean, do you just feel like I'm going to go nuts sometimes, or I mean, I feel that around this place, and we have a little TV show, so it's just.
Well, it's definitely a frenetic pace.
Yeah.
Adding the public nature to it has definitely added another element of being responsible now to investors and the business community, in addition to not only being responsible to, the staff and the community at large. So it's a lot to manage, and but we're having fun. It's a great industry, great people.
Good company. How many employees do you have?
Oh, pushing 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah.
And your corporate headquarters are right here in Boulder?
Right. We have about 90 people.
90 people working here.
In the corporate headquarters.
Wow. It's just amazing. Well, Libby, good luck with these. I'm really, when I read this story, I had to give you a call. I thought, this is a great idea. Finally, somebody's opening a wellness center and doing some good things. So good luck, continued success.
Thank you.
Libby Cook with Wild Oats. I'm Jann Scott, and we'll be back next Wednesday night right here on your television. Major funding for Jann Scott Live is provided by Art Hardware on the Hill, by Jones Drug on the Hill, by Boulder Army Store, by Mike's Marine and Boat, by Paper Mall on the Downtown Mall, by Blackjack Pizza. By Eldorado Natural Spring Water. By the Baobab Tree. And by Uptime.
You know, regular movies, you know, Batman and Robin and stuff like that.
Okay.
Here's another book, too, just we'll put up for a second. Bizarre Cinema. Now, this one has a lot of nudity inside, so if you buy this one, beware of it if you have kids, because it's almost like a porno book. You'd kind of want to keep that one hidden. But it does have a lot of references, especially to the Russ Meyer films, and just some of the foreign films that have a lot of sleazy components to them. And I wasn't going to mention Dario Argento, but I think I'll just bring him up right now real quickly. Dario Argento is an Italian filmmaker. Some call him the Italian Hitchcock or Italian De Palma. And he has a lot of sex and a lot of violence in his movies, but he defends them on the basis that it's beautiful, that the gore and blood that you see spilled on the screen when women get stabbed and cut open, he says, they all know it's not real, it's just a movie, and it's beautiful.
That's the way all the movies are.
Yeah. We got another call. Joseph.
Didn't we talk to Joseph already?
I don't think so.
Hello?
Joseph.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Yes, guys, I have a question. What I wanted to know, am I sleazy? Because I don't know what constitutes sleazy. So I've been feeling kind of sleazy lately, and
Then you probably are.
well, I kind of feel it, and
Do you have a sense of humor?
I do.
Is there?
I laugh all the time.
Is there nudity and sex involved?
Sometimes.
Are you on a poor budget?
Well, this week.
And are you a bad actor?
I'm very bad.
You're a sleaze.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
If you want to bash somebody or something, even more so, I think. Hey, we have another book that we haven't shown, a couple more. I think you saw The Nightmare to Ecstasy. This is a film that the Video Hound publishes, and they have several different types, a sci-fi book too. And this one is a guide to cult movies and trashy movies, and it's got a synopsis of the movies inside, running times, directors, featured personnel, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's just kind of a nice little reference. These are all reference guides that I find real helpful to telling me what's sleazy and what's not. So.
But you don't need to know what's sleazy and what's not. You already know.
Well, I'm learning. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm totally a master, but I'm getting there. I'm working on it.
Do you know any masters of sleaze?
Not personally, no. I'd say someone like John Waters is.
Yeah, it's got to be.
He is. The incredibly strange creatures who stopped living and became mixed up zombies. I just wanted to say that title because that was a movie I looked for years, and I finally found it.
That must be another aspect of sleaze is the title.
The titles give you a lot of information as to whether or not they're sleazy.
Give that title again.
Here's The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. And this is from the 1960s. We had I Spit on Your Grave, I Eat Your Skin, I Drink Your Blood. That's 3 different movies. Cannibal Holocaust, and that's got some really good cannibal stuff in there if you like that kind of thing. There's even one made about Alfred Packer. It's called Cannibal, a Musical.
That was done in Boulder.
And that was done in Boulder. It's a trauma release, and it shows some graphic stuff, eating insides and tendons and ligaments, but it's sleazy. So we're going to show another clip now from, this is Hollywood's first underground movie ever, an adult happening in psychedelic color, The Acid Eaters. Yeah. That's about it. It starts getting into a lot of TNA from here on.
Okay, better cut it. Better cut it.
Okay, so that's the acid eaters.
Now, I noticed a lot of symbolism in that, but I didn't notice any nudity or violence.
Now, I think we need Carl Jung to analyze this one, Dan. This is pretty profound stuff. But the nudity came right after the clip when we had to end it.
Oh, darn.
From then on, you see a gang of people out at a lake all taking acid and having sex and just running around naked. And that's what most of the movie is, not a whole lot of plot to it.
When was this movie made?
This one was made, let's see, 1968. So, you know, these were the kind of movies you probably saw at drive-ins if you were old enough to be going to the drive-in movies in 1968. So anyway, the next book we've got to show, and this is one of my favorites, is the Psychotronic Video Guide. And this is the last one. I think it's the last one.
We're not getting any zooms.
Are we getting any zooms on it? No. Well, I'll just hold it.
I don't think we're even getting any direction.
It's kind of an isometric workout. There we go. The Psychotronic Video Guide. I bought the first edition. It's Joel Weldon. He puts out a newsletter, too, that comes out every month, and I don't think you can find it anywhere but at Newsland down at Sheridan and 36, Westminster. I don't think Eads carries it. I've never seen it in any other bookstore, but it's a little newsletter, and he gives you updates on these sleazy type. He calls them psychotronic, but a lot of sleazy movies would fit under psychotronic. Psychotronic including more like science fiction, gore, monsters and stuff, as well as sleaze. And, you know, another sleaze master here we need to talk about, I think, for a minute would be
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol. Now, Warhol himself didn't really have a lot to do with directing or, you know, making the movies that have his name.
I thought he directed the ones like Empire State and Sleep.
Right, those I think he did. But the more commercial ones like Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, Andy Warhol's Dracula, and then Trash, Flesh, and Heat, which are considered a trilogy of trash movies. His name is associated, and yet he really was more like just sort of a godfather.
Was
that
he
gave his
still alive
blessing.
when they made?
He was still alive, yeah, you know, because he lived quite a bit after these movies. But Paul Morrissey directed these films, and they are a good exercise in sleaze and trash.
Was Paul Morrissey a porno actor?
He was at one time. I believe he was. And the Trauma movies, to drop down to another section here that we have, Trauma Entertainment, they're a whole company that's just committed and devoted to making sleazy, trashy films.
Okay.
Now, probably half or more of their movies I would classify as sleaze, the other half just action adventure like the Toxic Adventure, the Class of Nukem High, and then we already mentioned Cannibal a Musical, which if you haven't seen Cannibal a Musical,
are we even on the air?
Your voice is, and so is that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, very good. Just need to know that. So, if we have any other callers out there, we're here to answer your calls about sleazy movies. What is it? Why is it? And where can you get it? And
do you know of any mainstream actors and actresses who appeared in sleazy movies?
Yes, Sylvester Stallone. Well, that was actually a porno movie, though, wasn't it? That he was in. Yeah, I think a lot of actors started in soap operas, and I'd consider those sleaze too myself. I mean, they're kind of sleazy, aren't they? Soap operas? I don't know. What do you think out there? Give us
bad
a call.
acting, bad writing, bad directing.
Well, Frank has a question. Comment?
Frank.
Hi, hello there.
Hello.
Hey, I was wondering, do you have kind of an overall theory about the cultural relevance of sleaze movies in America, or is it just good for a few yucks?
Yeah, I do have a theory. I think that it makes us feel better about ourselves to watch sleaze. I feel better after I watch a sleazy movie because I don't, look at these people, how inept they are, or just, awful, and so then I feel like I'm a better person.
So just to get a sense of superiority.
Well, a little bit. That's just for me. Now, I can't say for someone else. Also, I get a few yucks out of it. It's fun to laugh, to do our own Mystery Science Theater 3000, where we sit there and make comments about the actors or the actors.
Yeah.
That's fun to do, especially the more people you have, the more fun that is.
And what do you make of the psychedelic theme of a lot of these sleaze movies? Was it just because the trend in the late 60s? Or?
Yeah, I think it was, and I think it's coming back to some degree now. Psychedelia has always been, it's altering the consciousness in a way that we can't do ordinarily.
So demons are getting out in the process?
Yeah, and I find that if you can do it without actually having to ingest drugs some way, even Timothy Leary, shortly before he died, was talking about doing that through all these computer programs we have now. Altering consciousness this way. This is the new psychedelia for the new millennium. Getting away from having to take drugs, but you can do it naturally.
Right. But you might warp your brain watching too many of these movies on the way.
Yeah, that's what I say. You need to take a break. I take a break. I don't watch them all the time. I watch them from time to time. But then you've got to air your brain out, get outside, get some fresh air. Or whatever.
Right. Well, thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Have you seen Breakdown?
Breakdown? No, I haven't. Is that sleazy?
Well, if it had some more nudity in it, I would classify it as a sleazy movie. It's basically just thriller, action, chase, crash, smash.
I heard it was kind of derivative of some other movies like that, like Vanishing, but not as good.
The promos look exactly like Vanishing. But
you said the Striptease earlier, before we came on, Striptease, you thought that was a pretty good movie.
I enjoyed Striptease with Demi Moore. I thought that was a good satirical, political movie, and it's not what you're watching on the screen right now.
So sleaze can come in many forms. You might find it, in your backyard. You might find it at work, in your workplace. But mostly you're going to find it in movies. I just think movies, books too, of course. There's a lot of sleazy books out there that provide the same kind of thing. The caller earlier that asked about my theory about it, I guess it's a release or a relief, and it's different. Pornography gives you a certain kind of relief if you're a person who enjoys that.
I've never had any relief from watching pornography.
Okay, but see, I do. And some people get it from riding a bike outdoors.
But the porno movies I've seen are so bad in every category.
Yeah, but Dan, you only use it for one reason, don't you?
What's that?
To get off.
No.
That's all I use it for. Just an aid.
I use a woman to get off.
Well, that's better. But if the woman's not available. So we have another call. Chris is calling.
Chris.
Yeah, how you doing?
Hey,
Chris. I think I don't know if there's any theory about these sleaze movies, but what they did was they spawned other forms of cinema. We couldn't have the slasher flicks without sleaze. We couldn't have had I don't know.
No, you're right.
The slasher flick pretty much comes from the sleaze, and if it wasn't for Halloween, the slasher flick would have gone the way of the sleaze because we don't really see any sleazy movies out right now. So
I think you make a good point.
Well, keep it up. I hope you guys are on every Saturday.
Oh, well, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we'll be running continuously for this month, won't we?
The same show?
Well, yeah, it's repeated quite a lot.
Oh, well. Life goes on. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for the call.
Do sleaze movies nowadays go straight to video?
Oh, an awful lot of them do, yeah, I think. The ones that are the trauma type.
And do they still make money?
There are even movies that have a plot. As he's talking about a slasher movie, there's some murder involved, some intrigue, sex, a little bit of nudity, but it's tame. It's not X-rated. It's more a hard R-rated kind of thing. And those that are done cheaply and poorly with poor actors, I would consider those to be sleazy movies.
Okay.
But, I like the older ones, Dan. Honestly, I prefer the older ones over these newer ones.
Well, yeah.
I like, watch them all, but it's good to get variety. But Sam Katzman, he's the guy at the top of the list that I neglected to mention. He was one of the early, maybe earliest innovators of sleaze and cheapos from the 1930s to the 1960s. This guy was making movies with Bela Lugosi, the East Side Kids. They're pretty tame by today's standards. They didn't have a lot of sex, not too much TNA in his movies. But they were sleazy in their own way. And it's a natural progression, a metamorphosis.
I think we've got another aspect of sleazy movies, bad taste.
Bad taste? There's a New Zealand filmmaker, and I'm forgetting his name right now. He made Heavenly Creatures. Peter Jackson. He made a movie called Bad Taste. And what it was about was aliens coming to Earth, eating humans, but we didn't taste very good to them.
And the ending was?
Well, they finally left because we were not only in bad taste, we tasted bad.
Oh, it
was sort of a play on words.
I got the joke. But.
And it's just full of gore. It's trashy. It's cheapo. His first real big budget movie, I think, was Heavenly Creatures. But he's made several movies, Dead Alive. And his movies I'd classify more as gore, horror gore, but he has a sense of humor in his films. So they're not really sleazy.
Question from the
audience. Question from the audience.
What's your opinion on Meet the Feebles by Peter Jackson?
Oh, it's fabulous. Meet the Feebles is not really a kids movie, or per se, even though it's got the puppets sort of look like Muppets, but they're doing things that you wouldn't see in most normal movies with humans and whatnot. Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was really fun.
I wonder if the audience heard that.
Meet the Feebles. It's a film by Peter Jackson, one of his early films. And I think it was, I don't know exactly where it came in relation to Bad Taste. I think it was after Bad Taste. And then he made Heavenly Creatures, and then he made The Frighteners, which was not too well received at the box office, but we thought it was fun.
But a mainstream movie.
Yeah, we liked it. My son and I liked it.
Ben.
Ben is calling.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, nothing.
He's hanging
Except
out here.
You. Yeah.
TV.
You guys have a good show. I like the topic.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I dig a good porn every now and then.
That's cool.
Yeah. You guys got any favorites or?
Favorite porn?
Yeah,
Well, I think all the Buttman stuff with big butts is great. Those are my personal favorites. But, again, there's a few stores in town that carry pornography in film, at XXX, adult, whatever you want to call it. Not at Blockbuster. You're not going to find it there. Not at King Soopers. But video stations are a really good source, and I'm sure there's other stores that carry them too.
Yeah, that's where I go, the video.
But porn isn't really our topic today.
No, I know.
But as I mentioned before,
Well,
I think
please,
I think, Ben, making your own is the best.
Yeah.
My favorite is the ones I've made myself. I watch those more than any. And
I always forget to put the film in.
Well, you got to do that. You need to have some film or video in there in your camera. And if you have a willing partner, I mean, that's the hard part. Someone who's trusting enough to be, exposed in this kind of thing, this process, that you're not going to use it for some ulterior motive. But it's just a fun thing between you, a private thing.
Yeah,
and,
I don't
think
know
that's
about
fun.
watching it so much, though.
Huh?
I don't know if I'd want to watch myself,
Well, I don't usually watch myself. It's my partner that I'm taping, that I'm watching.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't want to see myself.
Yeah.
And then do you allow her to tape you or him?
Yeah,
as the
I've let her
case may
tape
be?
me. I've let her tape me, yeah. Hey, what goes around comes around, right? You got to be fair about it.
And then you give her your tape.
If she wants it, but see, I don't think women by and large, I'm not going to speak for women in general, but I don't think most women are as turned on by watching these things as men are. I think it's more of a male-dominated activity, watching porno, whether it's in video, film, or magazines. 90-something% of it's purchased by men, so. But I think there are a few women who enjoy that kind of thing.
Hey, haven't we run a half hour over our time?
We're pretty close. We'll just kind
We've
of
only
wrap it
got
up
5
here.
more minutes, audience, so if you have any last-minute questions you want to get, make sure you call us at 440-3572. Or is it 440-1000?
And a lot of this, like we say, the beauty of it now with video is that you can watch this in the privacy of your home. It's too bad the drive-ins have kind of gone by the wayside, but we got another call from Jim. Jim, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, man.
Great.
Got some pretty good movies up there. Seen that one about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and that's just one of many that you can
Thank
get.
you, Jim.
In the sleaze section of your local King Soopers. Video station. So, if I could open a sleaze video store, Dan, I think I could make a killing.
Well, the video station has all the sleaze movies there are.
They've already got the market, see?
Well, are they making a killing on just those?
I think they, I don't know. I haven't really talked to them about that lately.
You'd have to compete.
They are on
with
me.
them. You'd have to compete with them.
Yeah, I'd be in competition. I have to go to Lafayette, out where I live, and do it out there, or some little town, further out, Greeley. Someplace where they don't have sleaze stores, and market the sleaze videos. But these movies that you see on the table, again, as I mentioned, you can't get those. I couldn't even find these at the video station, so they don't have everything.
You had to
As good
special
as-
order these?
I had to special order these through the Real Wild Cinema, and for a real good taste of sleazy movies, besides the books that we mentioned, and you can get these in your local bookstore. A lot of these I got at the Boulder bookstore or porno stores. These movies can be purchased through Real Wild Cinema, and that information I don't really have with me at the moment. Let me see if I can give that to you. Okay. That's not right. Yeah, here it is. For a catalog, write to SWV Catalog, Post Office Box 33664. That's Box 33664, Seattle, Washington. And don't worry about the zip code. The post office can figure that out. But
He works at the post office. He knows that stuff.
yeah, we know that stuff. And they'll send you a catalog. They've got a lot of listings of these sleazy movies that you can't find in video stores. As I say, even the video station. So.
Well, how large a collection would you say your personal sleaze collection is?
My personal sleaze collection is probably about 300.
You have 300 sleaze. They even made
Yeah.
that many?
A little bit more than that, Dan. A little bit more.
Well,
But
I
I've got
guess
at least that.
we're getting one more call.
I was trying to do a Robert De Niro imitation. It didn't work.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Dan, Ben? Man, I was just wondering if you guys are in any of your movies, because I'd like to probably get those.
Are we in any of the movies? Is that?
I've been in 2 movies, but neither one of them I think could be called sleaze.
Really?
The Disappearance of Amy and American Flyers.
I saw that. Kevin Costner struggling with that bicycle.
Really? I got a friend, Chris. He's addicted to ass.
I like that too.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Big, large.
Oh, very big.
The bigger the better. I don't know why that is. That just happened to me about the last 5 years. Maybe it's the interest in sleaze and that had something in common, you know?
Yeah.
It might. I don't know.
Dude, you guys are sick. I was just kidding. I hate fags.
We got some great calls here in
No,
Boulder,
it's a
don't
great
we?
call. Well, what do you expect
Boulder's a diverse
on
town.
Saturday afternoon?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess we should start wrapping it up now, Ben.
Yes, Dan? It's been a pleasure.
We're the Sleaze Brothers, and we hope you enjoyed this little introduction to sleaze or compilation or sleaze or whatever, and we'll leave you for now.
Sleaze dreams tonight.
Well, I'll be damned. Will you look at that? And where are you? Oh, there you are. Oh, I'm calling you. And you're calling me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh boy, take a cold shower. Hey. Hello. Hello, hello, Kimo Savi. Say, you wouldn't happen to have a towel, would you? Mm-hmm. Oh, you do? Hey, that's great, Indian. Thank you.
Why you take 'em cold shower?
Well, you see, I'm with this bunch of guys down at the pipe, and they all have girls except me. Girls? You Kimo Savi girls?
Me Kimo Savi, girl.
Yes.
You want 'em, girl?
Sure, you got one?
How much money you got 'em?
Money? Well, let's see now. I got $27 and one trading stamp.
Mm-hmm. Girl custom you $27 and one trading stamp.
Oh, wait a minute, Chief. Those are pretty high prices for a short timer.
No short timer. You get to keep 'em.
Keep 'em? Really? Hey, that's great. Here's your dough. Hey, wait a minute. You know Indian giver?
Oh.
All right, here. Okay.
All right. Well, that's just about it for our first Saturday Live, except we have a spiritual master who has come in. It is Swami Hat and Coat. He is here from India and ready to take your calls now here on First Saturday Live on CATV. I'm Jann Scott.
Oh, hello, Boulder, and salutations. It is a most auspicious day for Boulder, Colorado. There's the Kinetics Festival, that is one thing. There are many, many gurus like myself visiting your town today, and we are blessing you with our goodness. Yes, we are blessing you. I'm here to answer your questions. If any of you have, those deep, deep questions, is this my soulmate? Should I take this job? Should I move on? Should I tell her no? Call me and I will answer these things for you now. The number, what is the number? The number is 440-3572. I am your guru on Saturday. I'm having trouble with my teeth today. I ate some messy stuff for lunch. I have a phone call from somebody named Andy. Oh, Andy, how are you today? Hello, Andy. Hello, Andy.
Hello?
Hello, Andy.
Hi, my name is Andy.
Hi, Andy. This is Guru.
What did you have for lunch today, Guru?
Oh, Andy, I ate, what?
What? I was just coughing, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I was talking too. We both were talking. It is called communication, I think. It's a beautiful thing.
That's wonderful. We learned it in school.
Yes, indeed. What did I have for lunch? I had pizza.
Pizza? You're not allowed to eat pizza?
Oh, I had vegetarian pizza.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Well, see, I'm 16, and I've been dating this 55-year-old lady. She's really, really, really beautiful in my eyes, and I'm wondering if you think that I should ask her to marry me.
Is she good in the sack?
She's actually very good.
Oh, definitely, Andy, definitely.
So?
What?
Oh, I owe you one, man.
Yes, you marry her tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Can you do the ceremony?
Yes.
Is there a song you sing in a wedding ceremony that I could practice?
A song?
Yes.
Something maybe from Mary Poppins. Sing a song from Mary Poppins at the wedding. She will be happy. Thank you, Andy. And we await other calls. I know there are those of you out there who want to know the answers to everything, and I know them. For I've been meditating for many, 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 many years. Many years. And I'm learning to speak better English. Oh, Robert, are you on the phone? I feel Robert.
Yep, I'm here.
Hello, Robert. What can I help you with?
You got any more of those dancing girl clips you can show us?
Oh, the dancing girls. Oh, you mean the Shivites. I mean the Kundalini mistresses.
Oh, I like those dancing girls.
Ah, the dancing girls. You know about Kundalini Tantra?
No.
Ah, the Tantrikas. They are most beautiful. And they teach you everything about pleasure.
They have movies?
Oh, you can get movies, yes.
Oh, good. I'll get the movies.
Okay, about Tantrikas.
Thanks, Swami.
Oh, thank you. And have a nice day. I think they say that in America.
Inner mind to...
So Boulder, Colorado, this is my first visit here. And I have been to the Naropa Institute, and I have been to CU, UC, see us, see me. What is it called at the university? And I love this city. There's beautiful mountains. It reminds me of the Himalayas. Yes, yes. I'm feeling another call coming. Oh, somebody named...
Hello, Guru.
Joey, Bowie.
Guru.
Is your name Joey?
My name is Joey Guru.
Oh, Joey, you are a guru too.
I am a guru.
Oh, I can ask you all of my questions.
Hey, Guru.
Yes, Joey.
How many balls did you smoke?
How many what?
How many balls, Guru?
How many balls?
Balls.
Always two.
Were you smoking hashish?
At least two. Start
you
with
stoned,
two.
Guru?
There's an old song, 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, something like that.
Really?
2 after everything you do.
Shit, man, it's a lot of weed to smoke.
I enjoy speaking to you. You know about the sheish pesh.
It is good weed.
The hubbly bubbly.
It is better weed than anything I have in here.
You must be careful though, Joey. You must not become attached to the wrong things. Do you understand? Joey? Joey, bye, Joey. It was nice talking to another guru. He understood so many things I could tell. We were like guru brothers. And another call, I can feel somebody is calling, trying to reach Guru, wanting to know. What is it? Yes? Yes? Oh, I feel somebody named Frank. Ah, is there somebody named Frank?
Yo, Guru, this is Frank.
Yes, Frank. What can I do for you?
You look kind of happy on TV. A little too happy. Are you gay? Do you beat off a lot?
Do I beat off? What is this beating off? Is this something you cook? A beat thing. Beat off the Beatles. Oh, I don't know what you mean, Frank. Be frank with me. Call back and be frank. Frank? Don't be Joey, be Frank now. Joey, Frank, all these names. None of them sound like where I was born. I get lost, I get confused. I need to speak to my guru. I must meditate for a moment. I have a wah-wah pedal on my own. It is very nice for electric rock and roll meditation. Oh, wow. Ooh, I had to learn how to do this. All right, let's see. Somebody else is calling me. Ross? Ross?
Yeah.
Yes, Ross.
Yeah, what are you doing there?
What am I doing?
What?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I am being here. What are you doing, Ross?
Well, I thought I was stepping on my cat for a second. I looked down. He wasn't saying... They ain't saying dick, and you were, doing that thing. I got a little confused,
I was meditating. I was confused, too.
TV?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, what was that?
It's the Cosmic Angels.
Man, that's BS, man. What was that?
Which part?
What?
What? I don't know.
What?
What was what? Oh, thank you for calling, Ross. And I wish you have a better weekend. Oh, it's so good to talk to so many people. There are so many people wanting to speak to the guru. Hello? Hello, I hear somebody else is calling now. Do you have pain? Do you have problem? Do you have question? Hello?
Hello, Guru.
Yes, hello.
I am sorry, man, but I still on the phone. See, I am puffing on a fatty joint right now. Guru, man, this is the bomb. It is chronic.
It is crummy.
Chronic. You know, the chronic is Guru.
Oh, I think you should move to another country.
No, I love America. The 25 years I have been here, it is the best.
I think your accent is not changing fast enough.
Huh?
I think your accent, if you lived here for 25 years, it is not changing fast enough.
Oh, but I speak a lot of Indian to people. But it's this marijuana that I am smoking. Guru, you should try some. Why don't you come to my house and we will puff on a joint?
I tell you what, I cannot do these things in public television, so
Come on, Guru.
give your
lie to the
address to
people.
give your address to the operator and we will
Guru,
perhaps... Yes? Up. Goodbye, thank you for calling. Is there somebody else calling now? The Guru is here to answer you. Oh, on this most auspicious day here in Boulder, I have come to offer you a connection to me, and to you. Hello? Hello? Carol?
Oh, next year.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, who am I speaking to?
Carol.
Carol, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, what can I do for you?
I was wondering, you're the Swami. Who's going to win the Super Bowl next year?
The Super Bowl
I'm
next
just
year.
kidding.
What? Oh, you have a more serious question.
Yes, what's your role?
You mean like a Kaiser role?
Exactly. No, I mean your role as in, why are you there?
I was invited by the establishment of CATV Channel 54 to be a spiritual part of the program today.
Do you give out advice?
Yes? Do you need some advice?
Maybe.
Okay, then I think you do.
I have problems making decisions.
Like what?
Like everyday decisions, whether to leave my house or not.
Well then, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything. And then when you're ready, you will do it.
Wow, that's deep.
I know. You have to
I'm just kidding, Swami. You seem like a good guy.
You have to send me a check for $50 now.
Oh, I didn't know that. They didn't tell me that when they picked up the phone.
Oh, it's a voluntary donation, please.
Oh, all right. They'll have to give me the address. How about 100?
Okay, if it doesn't bounce, then
It'll bounce like a ball.
send it in care of CATV Studios.
Care of the Swami.
In care of this Swami.
You're a good guru.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate people like you. Another call, I think. I feel it. Yes. I don't know what the question will be, but I am beginning to hear. Is there another question? What is the name? Who will it be this time? All the souls in Boulder can now call and speak to their guru and get the proper answers to everything, every aspect of life. Yes, every aspect of death. Every aspect. Yes. Let's see. Linda, are you there, Linda? No. Linda is gone. Linda wanted to be here. Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry. You cannot be here now. Be here now. I am reading this book for the 100th time. Be here now. It's not very many words, but it's so many pretty pictures. Let's see, is there somebody named Chris? Hello, Chris?
Hello?
Hello, Chris?
Yes?
Hello, Chris.
I have a question for you.
Yes,
It
Chris.
might be an easy question to answer. If your show goes off the air, will anybody notice?
If my show goes off the air, will anybody notice?
Yeah.
Of course.
Are you sure about that?
I will notice.
Oh, that, okay.
And all the people in the studio will notice.
But will the rest of the world notice? Or Boulder?
I think the world here is amateur. So nobody will notice nothing. This is community access television. It is accessible to the entire community. Do you know what that means? It means that anybody can come here and be a guru or a swami. I hear the phone ringing in my head, in my heart. There are so many questions out there, and I feel so much responsibility to help all of you. Oh, please, who is calling now? Who's calling? I hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, this is Tyler.
Tyler, how are you, Tyler?
Good, I'm good, Swami. I'm so glad you're here because I got a real big problem.
Yes, Tyler.
Oh, I had this dream, and I wondered if maybe you could take a look at it for a second. Just try to figure out a little bit about what's going on inside my head.
Okay, wait 1 second. Take a deep breath. Okay, now tell me your dream.
Swami, I had this dream. It was Thursday, and it was so weird because I was flying around in a plane for a while, right?
Yes.
And I turned to my partner, whose name is Ed.
That is weird.
Hello?
That is weird.
Okay, and he said, hey, Tyler, you look like you're turned into some kind of a monkey. And so I looked at my arm, and I was turned into a monkey. And then I walked over to the other part of the airplane, and I looked down at my feet, and my feet were turning into giant Lego blocks. You know what I'm saying?
No, what is this Lego? Lego. You mean like Lego me? Lego.
Lego blocks. You know what I'm saying? They're these plastic toys. You know, plastic toys.
It's a child's thing.
Yeah, it's made out of a petroleum product.
Oh, it's gasoline.
Yeah. So hold on. So then I look over at my friend Ed, and he's sitting there, and suddenly, for the first time in my life ever, I look at him and I think, maybe I am a homosexual. And so
because of the gasoline?
No, just because I don't know, because you said the monkey thing.
Oh, Tyler, I think you know there's a famous thing you should go find, research this. It is a written song, a piece of music by a band called the Rolling Stones. It is called Monkey Man. You know this song? Tyler, you must find this song. It means everything to you. For if you want to be a monkey man, you can be a monkey man. Or you can be Tyler. Oh, Tyler, you blessed me with your question. Oh, thank you so much. I feel it so deeply. So Boulder, Colorado, today is the Kinetics Day. Oh, wait, I think there's another question from my lady, from Linda. Hello, Linda.
Hello.
Linda.
Hello.
Hello, Linda. Can I help you, Linda?
I was just wondering if you thought that this was funny.
Do we think it is funny? Which part?
Your whole imitation.
I don't know. Do you think it is funny?
I don't think it's funny at all.
And why not, Linda?
Are you Indian?
Linda? Why not? Yes. I think that is it for today. Thank you for calling, Linda. We shall talk another time. And for today, I would like you all to know, you can be yourselves, or you can be somebody else. What is the difference? Do what is easy. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Hey, Linda, I think you've been living in some kind of a Michael Jackson's backyard. Some kind of crazy stuff is going on. There's some kind of a real world happening where current events are more than bullshit. All kinds of... Well, I'm sorry, I think I gotta take a hit.